All right, hello wine drinking people. It's Thursday, April 8th, and we had another stellar day in the store yesterday, a marathon day of drinking, an Olympic day, I like to say, and our first supplier was a new supplier, and they just did South African wines. I know what you're thinking. Good luck. And South Africa isn't one of my favorite, but I know they're producing much better wines there now, and some of the wines that the supplier brought by were good, but for the price, there's a lot better stuff out there. And Pinotage, folks, I still just do not get. This wine received my lowest rating, fine. And I know that my rating system seems to confuse some people. And we don't use the 100-point rating system, which is most widely used out there in the world of wine today. And I kind of like it that my ratings somewhat confuse people because they have to base their opinion of the wine based on my level of excitement and my description of it rather than a 99-point score or an 89-point score. So let me just go through my rating system here a little bit to help you guys understand it, because I don't want you to be confused by it. But if I was going to compare it to a 100-point scale, which seems to be the thing that people most understand, my scale, by the way, was an adaptation of something that I saw from an English wine writer, Clive Coates, and he uses words of excitement to kind of describe wines, the quality level of wines. So my highest rating, if you compare it to a 100-point rating scale, would be a 95 to 100-point rating, and that would be killer. And then next up would be 93 to 95, most excellent, and then you'd have 90 to 92, excellent. 88 to 89 would be very good. 85 to 88 would be 85 to 87 would be good. 83 to 85 would be very fine, and 80 to 83 would be fine. So fine would be the lowest level. Anything beneath that is just not recommended. We don't have time for that. So you know what my mama used to say: if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. And that's all I got to say about that. Okay, if you want to read about these South African wines, they'll be in the text there. The Chenin Blanc, as I mentioned, was my favorite. This from Morgenhof, lovely buttered toast, dried apricots, white peaches, honeysuckle, a light metallic note to the bouquet with honeycomb notes also. Really exciting, really interesting. A nice texture on the tongue with kind of a light cream feel with a long finish, echoing the nuances throughout the nose and the finish. This one was very good and only around $20. One of the things I liked about it most, the value. And then the Shiraz from Aventure. Yes, they do call it Shiraz down in South Africa. From Stellenbosch, this wine had lovely blueberry and blackberry fruit on the nose with notes of melted licorice, dark chocolate, and black pepper spice. Really nice floral tones on the tongue, also the nice black fruit, and very good freshness, a savory style of Syrah. And again, at around $20, this wine was a real buy. Okay, next up, one of my favorite subjects in the world of wine, Bordeaux. And this supplier recently suffered a great tragedy. Roland de Bie, their brave and fearless leader, Lionel Julia, passed away on February 2nd, just a week after he attended the Margaux dinner with us. And fortunately, his son-in-law, Rudy, is stepping up to the plate, and he's going to take over and run with the ball. Lionel started this company, and he's really created a dent in the market where there's a huge need now that Diageo, Chateau and Estates, has fell out of the Bordeaux arena. So you know what happens in nature when there's a vacuum, somebody fills it, so hopefully these guys will be able to step up. And Rudy will be at our tasting on the 21st at Bordeaux, along with good friend Ron Warshawski from Southern Wine and Spirits. This company features some very interesting wines from Bordeaux, some second labels. Two of the first wines we had were second labels of famous properties from Saint-Emilion, Les Halles de Berlequet and Le Closier de Forte. Second wine of Berlequet, the first one, and the second one of Clos Forte. Two very nice wines from 2002 vintage, not a great vintage, but one that is drinking very nice right now. And these wines were relative values at around $30, our list price. And then one of my favorite wines we finished with, Domaine de Chevalier, the 2003. 2003 is a vintage that is drinking very nice right now, but still has some legs ahead of it. This famous property in Pessac is a real blockbuster. The white wine being more expensive than the red, but I feel the red is just as exciting. We will be showing this wine as well as the second wine from this property from the 2000 vintage at the tasting on the 21st at Cafe Max. Okay, next up we had Tal from Selected Brands, and he stopped by with the export director from Robert Weil Winery, Thomas Chaffin, and Robert Weil, one of the top producers in Germany, producing dry Rieslings. And actually, this is the trend in Germany today. It's only the Mosel that produces over 50% of the wine sweet, the old style Riesling, the QPA, the quality paraffin quality level based on the sweetness level of the grape, as opposed to how the rest of the world does it, or how France does it. Premier Cru and Grand Cru, they classify the vineyards. Robert Weil does have some Premier and Grand Cru situated vineyards. The last two wines that I had in this lineup were absolutely fantastic. Two of the best Rieslings that I've had this year, the Turnberg and the Kydrick Gaffenberg. The Turnberg would be considered Premier Cru, and the Gaffenberg, Grand Cru, and the Gaffenberg was most excellent. The best Riesling by far that I've had this year. Like I said, it was dry. It's from the oldest and most famous vineyard. It's 100% decomposing slate soils. Quality of an Auschlaze without the botrytis. Very tightly wound at the moment, though. This wine had a little bit of smoke and slaty mineral notes with white peach herbs, floral notes. Very exciting, very concentrated, very rich. This is a wine that needs 10 years in your cellar, though. White wines from Germany that need to be aged for 10 years are not really great sales prospects, but if anybody likes that type of thing, you can read the notes and we can order this wine for you. It was absolutely outstanding. Okay, last but not least, another Bob Daniel sighting. Yes, that's right, folks. 2 days in a row, Bob Daniel stopped in, and this time it was with Chad Robinson from Vintage Point Wines. Chad represents one of our favorite wineries in Napa Valley, Luna Vineyards, and those of you that had the 2005 and loved it, get ready. The 2007 will be here next week. Keep an eye out for that on the email, and Bob assures us there'll be a sample arriving as soon as the wine arrives. So the Pinot Grigio, very nice, has some really good fruit in the mid palate, which is what some of the ones from Italy are missing, and a very nice price as well. They've lowered the price on this. This is under $15 a bottle. The Arnold Palmer, another one of these celebrity wines. It was okay if you want a $10 bottle of Cabernet. The Sangiovese from Luna, a little bit unlike Sangiovese on the nose, but kind of came through on the finishes of Sangiovese, and this is what the winery started out at, John Koensgaard, with this Calatal program. I don't want to say they've abandoned it. They still do very well with Pinot Grigio and Sangiovese, but they've moved into the more major varietals of Merlot and Cabernet Sauvignon, what Napa Valley is better known for. And the Merlot was very nice, 2005 vintage, soft, drinking very good at the moment, and we have a pretty good price on that, so check it out on the email. What I had to drink last night? Well, Tony had a catering last night for Care Diagnostics, so you know what that means when Tony's working? Leftovers for dinner for me. But you know there's going to be some good wine opened, and I wanted to try one of these 2007 Bruno Colin wines. The Maltois has always been one of my favorite, and this wine did not disappoint. Excellent focus on the nose, pineapple and peach fruit, stone-like minerality, light vanilla spice, and light notes of creme caramel. Still tightly wound, but excellent concentration on the palate. Just a light touch of toasty oak and mineral overtones on the finish. I cannot wait to try the rest of this bottle tonight. Tony, I know you're watching. Do not finish that bottle before I get home. And then a preview of tomorrow's email. Rocca de Manzoni, one of my favorite producers from the Piedmont. We just got in the 2001 vintage of Bricco Manzoni. Yes, Jeff Cacuzo, your wine is here. And this wine is excellent. Not only get a 93-point review from the Wine Advocate, I drank the whole bottle last night. There's none of this left for tonight. That will be on tomorrow's email. What am I drinking tonight? Well, as I mentioned, we don't have any more events this week. We're done. I'll be going home. Hopefully Tony will have, we're having salmon for dinner. So you can bet there'll be a little Pinot Noir, maybe Burgundy open up tonight. What are we trying to sell you today? Okay, today we're promoting an event that we've got next week, next Thursday night. We've got Antonio from Terraspania Distributors, one of my major distributors and importers of Spanish wines. I like to work with people that specialize in a particular area. I find that you get superior products, and I remember the first time Antonio came in to see me to promote his wines, one wine after the next just got better and better, and everything in this lineup is stellar. Do not be fooled by the inexpensive prices on these wines that we'll be showing. They are outstanding. Check it out on today's email. This is your host, Andrew Lampasone, signing off for the Wine Watch. Remember, always drink the good stuff first.